What's going on, everybody? Good to see you. Smitty here, Miss Piddlin, Stephen Manis. First tonight, congratulations. Glad you're doing well, Stephen. Cooper the Great, a close second. Joseph, Mark G, Mike Tabor. Mike Tabor, I'm not giving away my grill. Great to see you guys. Hope y'all have been doing well. I know it's been a long time, so we're going to recap what we've had going on lately, and it's been a bunch. And you guys let us know what y'all been up to as well. Hope y'all had a good Thanksgiving, first of all. We had a great Thanksgiving. Austin, great to see you, my man. Hope you and Miss Amy and the little one are doing good. Jeremy, great to see you. Mark Rambo, great to have you. Long time no see. It has been a long time.
Yeah, I don't know if we're seeing any of them. They're seeing us, but we're not seeing them.
What?
You're saying great to see you.
Well, I see them.
Great to have you.
I can visualize. I can visualize Mike Tabor, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Good to see you guys present tonight. We do have a trailer, Joseph. We do have a trailer. Thank the Lord. And not without some drama, by the way, but we'll get into all that. Anton, great to see you here tonight. Appreciate
No, Mark,
y'all.
I wasn't picking at you. I was
13.
picking at him.
Appreciate y'all tuning in with us tonight.
Mr. Earl.
Mr. Earl, great to see you here tonight.
Great to have you. That's me, Jeremy. That's me.
100%. Wide open. Cheers to you guys.
I have to live with him. Harley would agree with me on that one.
Yeah.
Stephen, you don't want to know. I think I was more pissed off about it than he was.
Yeah, I don't know if Harley's going to be here tonight. He's in Virginia. Been up there for the past couple of days doing cooks and all kinds of stuff. So he's had a busy couple of weeks too.
The life should have been on the train.
And Joseph, I thought about that. No kidding. I did think about that.
Maybe when we get it set up.
That's a good idea. Once we get everything set up in it like we want it, we'll probably do that. No doubt we'll do that. And definitely going to be some videos on there. We've even talked about, taking it maybe to a state park or something, doing a little camping in it as well, and doing a video while we're doing that. I think that'll be really fun. Canadian Jim, appreciate you being here. Mark, I have no idea what town he's in Virginia. I really don't. Shoot old brother a text, babe, and see where he's at. Let him know everybody's missing him. But yeah, so we'll start back where we left off. I think the last one we had was right before the Ryan Weaver thing that we were going to do for the VIP folks. That turned out amazing. TG McFly, appreciate you being here. That turned out great, except the weather was terrible. It was raining and it was freezing cold. We were really the only people that showed up that was supposed to cook. But that's what we do. We do what we say we're going to do. But we cooked 2 briskets, 2 pork butts, big thing of macaroni and cheese, big thing of baked beans, coleslaw, a dump cake, peach dump cake. Apple. Yeah, apple dump cake. Everything turned out great. Everybody was really happy and all that stuff. By the way, if I'm going to type it down here in the bottom, after after
Harley is in for Richmond, which I've been there.
Yeah.
When I was younger.
So after we get off here, y'all can search YouTube if you want to for the video. Let's talk about heroes. That's the video that Ryan did, and you'll see yours truly in there, wearing my "Don't Tread on Me" hat. But it's a really cool video, paying tribute to veterans and first responders and stuff. Ryan did a really good job with it.
Stephen, what cake?
You can see Harley's hand at one point. That was about all. That was all he got in there. But it was really, really cool to be a part of that. But that went really well, except for the weather. But Harley helped us cook. Me, Harley, and Brandy. Harley brought his little Traeger trailer, and we had a little heater in there, and we were comfortable, and it was nice. Listened to some tunes and had a good time. So we had that going on, and then what was next, babe?
I had girls' weekend the next weekend.
Yeah, and then
We've had school.
we went to Nashville.
Then we went to Nashville. Then it was Thanksgiving, and now here we are.
Yeah, so we went to Nashville. Took our second oldest and his fiance to Nashville, and had a couple days there, and took them up to Kentucky, up there to Amish country and all that, and saw my aunt and uncle, and my uncle gave me a banjo that used to belong to my daddy, and that was pretty cool. So we brought it back, and I've got it hanging up in the living room in there. So that was cool. And then we had Thanksgiving. I cooked 3 spatchcock turkeys.
And macaroni and cheese.
All 3 of those fit on the Ironwood, by the way, which kind of surprised me, but they did really, really well. And one thing about the turkeys, I know Turkey Day's over with, but I mean, you can have turkey anytime. You know, it doesn't have to be just Thanksgiving. But if you don't spatchcock your turkeys, I'm telling you, that's the way to do it. I cooked 3 turkeys on one grill at the same time, Thanksgiving morning. Started them at 8 o'clock. By 10:30, 2 of them were done, and the other one took about another hour.
No,
11.
one was done. The smallest one was done.
Smallest one, and then the other ones,
By
11:30.
Yeah.
11:30 they were done. So started them out at 250 for an hour, and then kicked it up to 350. Finished them off, and I used the Flavor Knuckles Asado seasoning on them, and it was great. The great color, kind of an orangish color from the turmeric that's in it, and it turned out really great. So
and you also prepped them the night before.
That's right.
You were worried about that, but
I didn't want to. I knew I was cooking them Thanksgiving morning, and I didn't want to be late because we always eat at 12 noon on Thanksgiving, and so I didn't want to have to get up and prep them. So I prepped them the night before. I spatchcocked them, seasoned them, put them in pans with lids on them, and put them in the refrigerator. But I put the lids on them so that air wouldn't just completely dry them out and draw all that moisture out. I was a little concerned that they would be dry, but they were not. They were excellent, and turned out really good. So,
Stephen, I'll send you that recipe, and you can do that. The same recipe you could do peaches. What else would be one?
Harley just did a pumpkin pie
Oh,
dump cake. He said it's the best one he's ever done.
so it'd be like pumpkin pie filling with the other stuff that I'll send you for the apple, but that apple one was good.
It was really good. I like that better than peach, I think.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Mike.
So other stuff that we had that we didn't fix. Brandy's sister made a corn casserole,
Which was great.
I loved it. That might be something that I add to the next cook that we do for somebody, see if they want to do that corn casserole, but it was really good. Sarah, our daughter Sarah, did a green bean casserole. That was good. She did a great job with that. Sweet potato casserole.
That's my mama's best in the world.
Bet it is the best in the world. It's the
I
best in
could
the
eat a
world.
whole casserole dish
That's chopped pecans on the top
with brown sugar.
with brown sugar, and it just kind of melts and creates a crust over the top. It's
Like a lot of people use marshmallows.
Yeah.
I'm just not a big fan of putting marshmallows on my sweet potatoes. If I just have a sweet potato, I want nothing but butter and sweet potato. She probably put some. I've got the recipe. I've just never made one.
but it's fantastic. And then who did the mustard greens?
Mama.
Mustard greens, they were great. Cornbread.
Mama.
And then what pie?
Egg custard.
Egg custard pie. It was good. And then pound cake.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So everything was great.
And we already have the menu for Christmas.
Oh, tell them what we're doing for Christmas.
Oh goodness. Ham, possibly another turkey. I just went blank. Oh, we're gonna do greens again, mustard greens again. Black eyed peas and rice.
Yeah.
She's gonna do a smaller sweet potato casserole. Broccoli casserole, which is another favorite of mine from my mama.
Mm-hmm.
What else was on the list? I know we got desserts. Desserts are going to be banana pudding, peach cobbler. Oh, pecan pie. Sarah's going to do pecan pie. The grandkids are making desserts this year. Hey, Amy. There's other, I can't remember exactly.
Hello, Miss Amy.
For Christmas.
Prime rib. We talked about doing something like that for Christmas. I wanted to do something kind of special, but something different than a ham. And I thought about doing a prime rib, but man, they're so expensive.
Jeremy, you've never had mustard greens, collard greens? Oh my gosh, you're missing out. They're amazing.
They're good if they're done right. Now I'm kind of picky about my greens. Some people make them and they're a little bit bitter, but I think it's because they don't.
Yeah, you got to put a little sugar in there.
Yeah.
But you also have to wash them really well, depending on how dirty they are. Andrew said she only washed ours twice. I usually wash them 3 times.
But I love them. Me and Fetty talked about, I guess it's been about a month ago, about the last time we did the last live stream. And I don't know what he's got cooked up, but he wanted my logo and said he was wanted to do something for barbecue guys or something, was going to use, I guess, mine kind of as a guinea pig, but I don't know what he's got going on. So I need to get back in touch with him and see what he's got cooked up.
Amy, we're doing good. We just got back to school, but we're ready for a Christmas break already. I know that's terrible, but I can't help it. Thank you. About the trailer. Jimmy, where are you at now? What did you said? Any suggestions?
Oh, any suggestions? So is that going to be, Joseph, is that going to be a bone-in, like a standing rib roast type deal? Or is that going to be? Because I've seen like a whole prime rib with the bones, with it already deboned. But a couple years ago, I did the standing rib roast. And so I've got a video on that, and it turned out really good. But that's the only one I think I've ever done. Minnesota.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to find any
up there. Yeah.
I mean, it's a job to get them prepped, and they cook down to hardly anything, but they're so good.
Gary, appreciate you being here. That means a lot. Thank you.
He said it's bone in.
Yeah. I've got a video, standing rib roast video that I did several years ago now, but it turned out really good. I think I did it on an Ironwood or a Timberline, but for some reason I think I did it on the Ironwood that Harley left over here for a while. That was a beta version of the Ironwood. But anyway, it would be kind of a good, starter for you anyway, and then you can kind of just make it your own. But I think I want to say that I made some kind of chimichurri type sauce to marinate it in first. But check it out anyway. It's a I called it a standing rib roast, I believe. But maybe that'll help you out a little bit. Wagyu rib roast. I wish. Frank, good to see you tonight. Good to see you here tonight.
Yeah, I don't have to apologize. We're just glad y'all show up. Y'all show up when you can show up.
We apologize for taking so long to get back with you, but since the last one, we have had something every single week almost. And then it got close to getting the trailer, and then so we started getting prepared for that. And so we'll get into that a little bit about the trailer and what all happened there. By the way, Mike, you said Wagyu. I just got into, let's see, December. When is it, babe?
Cotton Sticky Bar said it was the Ironwood. What, December what?
Thank you.
What are you?
The state competition.
That's the 18th.
December 18th, we're going to do another state competition, but we get to do it with the trailer. I'm jacked up about that. That's going to be fun. I don't care if we win or not. It's going to be fun. I'm going to enjoy it.
Well, we didn't win the last time we went down there, but we had a good time.
Yeah. And
at least we won't be.
We didn't score worth a piss. That was the very first one we did.
But at least we won't be sopping wet.
No, we won't.
Because, it rained, and I'm glad I took an extra pair of clothes because it would have been miserable.
But I just got 2 Wagyu ribeyes in right before the show from Hassel Cattle Company. And they're the guys that provide the steaks for SCA competitions. So I wanted to get 2 that were very similar to the ones that we're going to be picking to do some practice cooks on. And so the only difference is the one at SCA competitions aren't Wagyu, they're prime. But that didn't seem to be an option, so I just went with Wagyu. But they look really good. So
you did it on the Ironwood. They watched it yesterday, and you used pesto.
Eddie Hanks, what's going on, brother? Good to see you.
Yes, we will be wrapping the trailer.
So let's talk about the trailer. Let's finally get to that. So get a call.
On the Tuesday, we're coming back from Nashville.
Yeah.
Which was a week ago yesterday.
Yeah, we're coming back from Nashville, and they called, hey, the trailer's ready. When you want to pick it up? And I'm like, well, how about tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
So.
Which was on a Wednesday.
Which was the Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
A week from.
So they're like, well, we're closing half a day for Thanksgiving, but we'll just take it to a guy's house that does our after hours pickups, and you can pick it up from there. We're like, okay, that sounds good. So we load up, and we're off, for Thanksgiving break, and we head over there to Douglas, Georgia, and it's about an hour, 20 minutes or so. And we get there, and the trailer looks good and everything. But we've talked about this before. I over-researched everything, and just, because I know that I'm getting it, I have looked, like I want to visualize it, I don't want to look at just any trailer. I want to look at a 22-foot porch trailer with a 10-foot porch and 12-foot cabin. And I would find one and just look at it like, yeah, so that's what it's going to look like. And I can picture this going there and all that. So I knew exactly what it looked like. I have stepped it off in the living room,
on the pool deck,
everywhere, just thinking. So, me and Brandy are looking, we're looked at it. We went in the cabin and looked at it, and we're standing on the porch, and I'm just looking, and I'm thinking, this ain't a 10-foot porch. I mean, I don't have to get a tape measure out, nothing. It's not a 10-foot porch. So the guy, he's talking, but while he's talking, I step all the way back to the back rail and start stepping it off, and it's 8 feet. So I went back and did it again, 8 feet. So I look at Brandy and I'm like, this ain't a 10-foot porch. So the guy's like, what's it supposed to be? It's supposed to be a 10-foot porch, and it's an 8-foot porch. And I go outside and look at the cabin, and I knew that a 12-foot cabin, the wall was going to come down about midway of the front tire. And this was to the back tire. And in my mind, I already knew what had happened. They had made a 14-foot cabin and an 8-foot porch. So he gets a measuring tape out, and we measure it, and it's a 14-foot cabin and an 8-foot porch. Well, we get to looking at, if you open the door to the cabin and we've got grills on the porch, is it going to hit the grills and this kind of stuff? Just kind of rolling in our minds, is that going to give us room? And Brandy notices that we had a window put in that door going from the cabin to the back porch.
We asked for one.
Well, they didn't put it in there. So the cabin is 2 feet too long, the porch is 2 feet too short, and the window is not in the door. So that guy calls the owner at SDG, and we conversed a little bit, and he says, they can add the window, no problem. But, so basically we had three or four options really. One option is take my deposit back. We go home and piss on the trailer. And after we've waited 7 months, that's not an option. So we're fixing to get a trailer from somebody. So the next option was they were going to remove that back wall and move it back 2 feet and build the back wall back again to give us the 12-foot cabin, 10-foot porch. And I said, no, we're not doing that, because in my mind, this trailer is already built, and then you're going to take it halfway apart, piece it back together. And in my mind, I had Frankenstein. It's going to be stitched up and it's not going to be right. And we're not doing that. I just knew, I felt in my heart that it wasn't going to be right once you take that back wall out, move it 2 feet and put it back in. I'm not doing it. So that wasn't an option for me. And really the other option really is just,
well, he said that they would make us another one.
Oh yeah, so that's right. So the other option was just reorder it. He'll put it on a fast track, whatever that means, and try to get it built sooner. Well, this had already taken 6.5 months. So even if it only takes half the time, we're going to be looking at almost 10 months by the time we get a trailer at that point. And no, we're not doing that either. So I tell him, I just need to get off the phone and think about this a minute. So we get off the phone, and I'm walking around and I'm just looking, and he calls back and says that he's talked to the guys. Moving that wall would be no problem. We can get it done. And I tell him no, that I think I'm beginning to think that my best option is to take it the way it is. They need to put the window in the door like we ordered, and what can we work out with that? And I think that was the best option for us, but it was also the best option for him because he was going to lose money by having to tear out a wall, move it, put it back in, and all that stuff. So what ended up happening is the trailer stayed there. I kept the check, and that was on
Wednesday. They were closed the rest of the week for Thanksgiving.
That's right. So we had Thanksgiving. He calls me Monday afternoon and says that he's going to bring it to us. We don't have to go pick it up. He's going to deliver it to us Tuesday, and he's going to bring $500 cash for our trouble and them screwing the pooch. So I said, deal. So we left and came home. Tuesday at 4:00, they showed up, and it was, the window is in there, and it's right, except it's not the 12-foot cabin, 10-foot porch. Okay. With that being said, now that we have gotten it, and we have, yes, last night we stayed in it. We ate McDonald's in it, had our first meal in it, had our first beer on the porch, and just kind of hung out in it and kind of figured out where things were going to go and how we want to set it up. And, this isn't just trying to make it seem better than it is. I'm really kind of happy that I can say this, but I really think it's probably going to benefit us to have the 2 extra feet in the cabin. I think that's going to benefit us more than having the 2 extra feet on the porch. By the time we figured out where we wanted to put everything in there, I think once we get everything in there, it's going to be a pretty full cabin, even with the 2 extra feet. So I think it's going to be beneficial in the long run. And I don't think we're going to miss the 2 extra feet on the porch nearly as much as we would have wanted 2 extra feet in the cabin after we started using it some. So long story short, I talked to Harley about it. Harley said, everything happens for a reason. I really think it might have been for the best after all. And really, if you think about it, even just taking it the way it is, that costed them more because that's 2 extra feet of cabin added. The beams, all the sheet metal, the plywood,
LED light.
Another LED light, because it was only supposed to be 2 LEDs in the cabin, but because of the 2 extra feet, they added 3 LEDs in the cabin. So with all that being said, we're happy with it. I'm as happy as I can be with it. Now, I was on the verge of
well, I'm not
gonna say violent, but the guy that we were supposed to pick it up from, he was like, well, it's no big deal. Things happen. And when he says it's no big deal, that's when I could feel the blood pressure going, because it is a big deal. And let me just say this too, because I'm tired of hearing it. I realize COVID has, affected businesses, but I'm sorry, whether it affects your workers or not, your standard should not be lowered. The quality of product that you want to put out shouldn't be lowered. And I feel, I have felt this way multiple times. We went to Helen, businesses had signs out, it's like they have almost just thrown in the towel and just said, our service isn't going to be as good. Sorry. And use COVID as an excuse. And I'm just not accepting that, not doing it. So, and that was part of the kind of excuse that we were getting a little bit, was that kind of stuff. And I'm just not buying it. It's not hard to read a order.
Right. That's what I was going to
Okay,
say.
so
You have a checklist.
check that, and it's not like, I've said this 10 times since this happened. It's not like they forgot an electrical outlet. You know what I mean? Like we ordered a couple extra electrical outlets and that kind of thing. It's not like they forgot electrical outlet. Oh, my bad. Let's add that. You added 2 extra feet to a cabin. I mean, like that's not something like, I don't even build trailers, but I knew this ain't a 10-foot porch. I knew it just standing there that it wasn't. It doesn't take, so I don't know how that mistake was made, but long story short, I'm glad that I can say, in a way, I'm glad it happened, because I really think that 2 extra feet is going to benefit us in the cabin area more than 2 feet on that porch would have. So, other than that, it is really nice. It is really nice. Somebody asked the question, I think on Instagram, if we got it fully loaded. No, we did not get it fully loaded, for several reasons. Number one, they make trailers that are an actual roll-in restaurant. I mean, they have the fryers, they have the flat top grills, they've got the stoves, the refrigerators, the electric warmers, the prep stations, bathrooms. I mean, they have everything. Smoker already built in with it, $80,000, $100,000 easy. But we're not frying anything. And we just don't need all that other stuff. Everything that we want to do is going to be on a grill. So we didn't need any of that stuff. And also, there's a couple of folks that I watch on YouTube that have food trucks, food trailers, just so I could see how they do things. But they have so much stuff crammed into the trailers that they can't turn around in the trailer. They can't move in the trailer. And on top of that, the stove, for example, isn't used for a stove. It's got styrofoam plates stacked on top of it all the time. So it never gets used. And so I didn't want to do that. Plus, Brandy and I, we're going to use it for, if we want to go to Bristol to a race or Talladega or wherever, then we can take it. And it's with that cabin right now, we can still blow up a queen size mattress in there, and that'll be our camper, So it's going to be really nice. We'll have the grills on the porch. And so we can use it as that, or we can use it as competition, or we can use it as festivals and maybe some catering and that kind of stuff, depending on that situation. But it's really nice. We got the sink package. Once we get it all set up, we'll do a video of it and actually pan around and show you everything about it. But we got a sink package. It's got a 3-compartment sink. It's got the hand wash sink, cabinets underneath, hot water heater, the water pump and all that, fresh water, gray water.
Heater and air conditioner.
The heater, and that was another thing. I was told that it was going to be an air conditioner with a heat strip, and it's not. It's actually an air conditioner and heat pump. And it is
run you out of
it is remote controlled. And there's no knobs on it. It's a push button, and the actual bottom of the air conditioner cover, I guess, is an actual screen. So your temperature and all that actually shows up in the air conditioning cover, I guess. And so
And you can see it on the remote. So you
can see it on the
remote. You just really
yeah.
need to look at the remote. Like,
right.
That's really not necessary up there. But
unless you lose the remote or the batteries go dead in the remote, maybe. But
you better not be losing the remote.
But we were out there last night and we had the heater on 76.
No, you put it on 80 to start with.
It was cold out there.
Well, it got hot quick.
Before it was over, Brandy had the
window open.
The window open because it was warm in there. And I'm assuming the air conditioner is going to be the same way. So it's going to work out really good as far as that goes. Really impressed with the air conditioning heat pump. LED lights are wonderful. They don't take up any space. They are super bright. And there's two also on the porch that are great. And then the two the one on each side of the concession window, them things will light the world up. I mean, they are super bright. And they're they don't face straight out, but they don't face straight down. They're kind of like at a 45-degree angle, kind of going down. So really cool. It's wired for 50 amp, but it's also got an inverter converter deal in the panel box to where, like right now, if I go out there, it's hooked up to the house power with an extension cord. I've got a dog bone that kind of reduces it down. But if I unplug that, all the lights and electrical outlets will still work on 12 volt. It's got a battery out there. But then when we hook it up to shore power or generator, then it will also charge that 12 volt battery while we're hooked up to regular power. So really cool the way it's kind of wired up. It's got a full water hookup and all that. So, I love it.
Frank, we talked about people just going and picking them up and not even looking. And I'm telling you right now, if we would have hooked that thing up and brought it an hour and a half, we would have turned around and took it right on back the same day. Because I was already mad as it is. My whole thing is when somebody's spending that kind of money on something and you have a checklist, we're big on checklists. We make checklists for everything.
We brought the folder with the purchase order.
But they had it in their envelope.
Right. They had the same one.
Right.
Yeah.
And he pulled it out of the envelope and I'm going down and I'm like, nope, it's right there. Nope, it's right there. Nope, it's right there. And that's not what was on the trailer. If you're building something, if you're making something, I don't care what you're doing. If you're working for somebody else, they're paying you to do a job for them. You need to make a checklist. You need to check it, double check it, triple check it. I don't care. It needs to be done right.
And here's the thing, and I need to explain this too. So we ordered the trailer through SDG Trailers, and like all the big competition guys that we talked to, like Harley talked to Malcolm Reed, Heath Riles, Guy Fieri with Food Network ordered one through them. All those guys say SDG. You got to order through SDG. But there's a little bit of twist with that because we didn't order the $80,000 version. And so depending on what you want in it, if you just want what we got, then they outsource the first part of that build to I'll think of it in a minute. But it's another trailer place right there in Waycross. Douglas is really the same area. So they built the skin, the shell, and then they bring it to SDG, and SDG finished out the interior, the sinks, the wiring, the flooring, all of that. Now, if you order the $100,000 model with all the restaurant equipment in it, SDG builds it from the ground up. And so what happened with ours is, I can't remember their name. The place that built our skin part, they built the 14.8 and not the 12.10. And then when SDG got it, SDG just assumed that they had built it right and just finished it out. All right, your trailer's ready. Well, nobody checked it at this place, and then nobody checked it here either. And for me, just one of those deals where 12-foot cabin, 10-foot porch, Stephen.
I was just saying, yeah, it was lost in translation.
Yeah, lost.
Yeah.
You know, if I call Eddie Hanks, say, all right, Eddie, your trailer's ready to be picked up, and I know he's coming, I'm going to say, hey, Bob, grab that checklist, go out there and double check everything, measure it, and make sure it's right.
That's going to be done before we even call Eddie.
But I would have double checked it 57 times. I'm just telling you, that's what should have been happening. And it didn't. And I say all that to say that, you know, they have people come from as far away as Texas and Michigan and Connecticut.
No, that was the other company.
Down here to pick these trailers up. We were only an hour and 20 minutes away. Imagine if I had driven from Kentucky. And you know what I mean? But like Frank was just talking about, I have no doubt that there are some people that have picked their trailer up with that same situation, and they still don't know that it's not right.
Joseph, you're exactly right. I work with a ton of them every day.
But again, I'm as happy as I can be with it now. I really am. I'm as happy as I can be with it.
A week ago, that was not the situation.
No.
But anyway, let's move on.
I don't even know if we talked on the way home.
No, because I was mad. I was mad. And then, right, well, you were like, well, I mean, it's just, they're going to fix it. It's just over and done with. So you just need to stop.
Well, because I knew that she's thinking, oh God, he is fixing to
when we were
lose
there,
his mind.
Yeah, when we were there, I thought you were fixing to rip that man's head off.
Well, if he had said no big deal one more time, that probably would have happened.
But anyway, let's get on. Somebody asked what you were drinking.
Oh,
tonight.
A little eggnog and a little spiked with a little apple pie, Old Smoky moonshine. It's quite tasty. Matter of fact, it's gone.
Eddie, I don't know if you heard. I think I was trying to tell you we are going to get it wrapped. Our second oldest son, he used to work at a place. Now he's farming, but we're going to get him back to that job so he can either do it or help them do it in the next, I don't know when, maybe the next couple months. Mike, what kind of pie? I know you listed like 4. No, I already did it.
Arshat barbecue. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Amy wanted to know how much those wagyu things cost.
Depends on what kind of wagyu thing you're talking about, Miss Amy.
Probably steak. Amy, Austin told her more than she'd want to spend.
No, maybe not. The steaks weren't really bad. Oh, and the other night I cooked those Snake River Farms Terrace Majors.
Those were great.
Brandy said that could have been one of the best things I've ever cooked. I didn't think they were that good, but
it was good.
But they were really good, and they're not bad for Snake River Farms Wagyu. You know, a twin pack was probably about $70 or something, but I mean they were really good. But the steaks from Hassel, I mean I think the ribeyes were about $35 a piece. which that's not cheap by any means. But really, the only reason I wanted to do that because I know those are the same steaks that we're going to have at the SCA competition, and it doesn't really do you any good. You know, if I go up here to this grocery store and get two ribeyes to practice with, number one, they're going to be select or choice at best, and they're going to be about that thick. And so I'm going to be practicing for nothing, really.
Did we not ever we didn't do videos on pecan pie. We looked that up.
I thought we did, but evidently I just took pictures.
Okay.
So we can do
Mike,
that.
that's what he wants, pecan pie.
Well, and another thing, it's been seems like a year since we've done a video. And so we're going to get back to doing videos starting this weekend. And it may be practicing the ribeye state competition video. What else? I've got
well, we said we were going to do some kind of meat and maybe a side video before Christmas.
Right, a Christmas video cook. And I've got a rack of St. Louis style Kubota pork ribs in the freezer from Snake River Farms. I can do a video on that. I thought about doing a video on those ribs just on the Ranger, just to show people that you can cook a rack of ribs on the Ranger. So we may do that.
Austin, that apple pie moonshine's very tasty. Oh, Joseph, I'm drinking. There's my brother.
There he is.
When we went to Nashville, we went into, which we've gone in there 100 times, Johnny Cash's little place. And one side, there's a coffee shop.
Yeah.
So I got me a bag of a brew named Sue. And it's very good coffee. So that's what I'm drinking tonight. Sorry.
It's very good. Fred
and Chanel. But in the morning, my cast iron come in, my monthly subscription of cast iron come in. So I will be having me some cast iron in the morning.
I will say a brew named Sue is close to cast iron. It's good.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yeah. So, but yeah, well, we got to get a couple more tables and some more shelves for the trailer, and then that'll be finished. Yeah. Mike, send me a picture of your face.
Yeah, we'll put his big mug right on the concession window.
So, but we got a lot of stuff. See, this weekend we have the Christmas parade where he's not doing anything, but my lovely mother has taught me and the girls.
Before you say that, the past how many years have I had to drive the golf cart?
7.
Uptown.
6.
And then.
No, you just have to drive it right there for them to get on. I'm the one that has to go pick up Santa and Mrs. Claus and bring them to the golf cart.
Yeah.
And this year you don't have to do anything.
Because we say parade. It's no parade that probably any of you have ever even seen, heard of, or been a part of, because it is through the downtown streets, and it's all golf carts or buggies.
But not this year.
There's no.
No. They're having cars. Mom and Daddy's in a.
Well, this is the first year.
Mom and Daddy's going to be in a convertible Corvette.
It's been buggies and mules and
golf carts,
4-wheelers.
No.
And yes.
Not 4-wheelers.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think.
And they just string lights, Christmas lights all over them, and just.
Well, I'm going to be the elf driving the mule, and then I have.
So all the girls have elf costumes.
All the girls have elf costumes, and they're going to be walking and passing out candy canes
with the little bells on them.
Yeah.
Hats.
Yeah. Elf hat.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to wear mine to school in a couple weeks, which I've been an elf at school for the last 6 years anyway. My kids love it, so no. I'm going to dress him up as an elf one day.
Don, I'm gonna need some more
I
eggnog.
have to try the eggnog and apple pie moonshine. Well, tell them what the first glass of eggnog you had. What did you put in the first glass?
I found a peppermint twist Smirnoff, and the bottle is wrapped. I mean, it looks like a big candy cane. And I was like, I want to try that, so I bought it. Well, I mean, what do you do with it? I mean,
after we put
just,
up the Christmas tree, we just took a shot of it,
and it's really good. I mean, it's about like brushing your teeth, or it's like, mouthwash.
Burns all the way down your ears.
But it's cool, It's got that cool mint.
Yeah.
But it was good. But I was like, what do you mix it with? So I read a couple things, and
that'll be nice, Joseph.
But somebody said coffee. Put it in your coffee. So we put it in. Was it the brew name Sue?
Yes.
Excellent.
You did. I didn't.
Amazing. And so Harley, Nate.
Yeah, Nate said it was great in eggnog.
From Japan, he said, "Oh, that's great in eggnog." So tonight I got some eggnog and I tried it with it, and it is really good. But then I tried it with the apple pie shine.
But then you said it would probably be better with what?
Just regular whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably the vanilla crown or
the
salted caramel.
Yeah, which we need to check to see if it's supposed to be in this week. Joseph is grilling a pork butt for his co-workers.
Very nice.
Well, Eddie, I have 5 bags of coffee that I just rotate right now. I'm almost out of the Dylan Grog. I think that's what it's called. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, it's all right.
Mayhem. Nice to have you tonight.
Appreciate y'all being here. It's been a great night. Again, we've been away for like 4 weeks. And, y'all picked right back up where we left off. And we definitely appreciate that. That means everything to us. And so thank y'all for stopping in with us. Again, I hope y'all had great Thanksgiving with y'all's family and everything, and everybody's safe and all that.
Is Amy still on?
Nate has 5 weeks, and then he gets on the USS America for, I think, a 6-month deployment to Thailand and that whole area, Asia Pacific area down there. But he's enjoying things and all that.
Do they know that he got promoted?
He did. He got promoted to corporal a couple weeks ago now.
I can't remember if we've had a show since then.
But he's doing good. Let's see. All the videos of port loin since
I didn't.
One of the cheapest cuts. I like doing the port loins too. And I like just buying the whole thing, cutting it in half, and then you can cook that one half whole, but then cutting that other half up into thick pork chops and putting them in Ziploc bags. Go ahead and marinate them however you want to, put them in the freezer, and then when you thaw them out, they're ready to go. I like doing that a lot too. But I also like the pork tenderloins, which they're cheap too, as long as they're not seasoned ahead of time.
Well, you hardly ever get one that's already seasoned.
No, not anymore.
Meat prices.
I mean, beef is expensive. The pork here is still reasonable, I mean, I did that cook from my school about a month and a half ago now, end of October, and I got 20 pork butts for $1.48 a pound. So it's pretty cheap. Beef is outrageous right now. And I mean, we went to Sam's a couple weeks ago, and I mean, they didn't have anything as far as meat was concerned.
They didn't have any chicken.
They didn't have any chicken, hardly any beef, none of the vegetables that we needed really for that cook for Ryan. So it was kind of disappointing. 99 cents a pound is great. Sometimes we get it for that, or $1.19 a pound sometimes.
That's the one he's gonna cook tomorrow.
Well, good luck with that, Joseph. And I mean, I know it's going to turn out good, but that'll be good stuff. Anything else, babe?
Nope. Got a parade this weekend.
Parade this weekend. Tomorrow, I plan on coming home, and I ordered a shelf to go in the trailer and a wire rack, stainless steel wire rack to store things on. But tomorrow, I'm probably going to go ahead, the table that we've got already, probably going to go ahead and mount that tomorrow and put up the racks for the spices and stuff like that. We can go ahead and put up the magnetic knife holder, put that up. So you kind of start getting it ready to go and all that stuff. So I just like being out there, and I could just go out there and sit in a chair on the porch and just sit there. I love it.
We stayed out there till 7:30 last night, 3.5 hours.
Yeah. Your sister come over, your mama come over.
My daddy come over.
Yeah, your daddy come over. Just sit there and look at it.
My sister's ready to party.
Me too.
The next trip, I was going to talk to Amy, but I don't guess she's still on. She said the next time we go somewhere, she wants to go with us. Next trip we probably go, that we're going somewhere, is going to be in April when we go to Bristol for the race.
Yeah.
That'll probably be the longest, unless we go to, no, Athens is closer.
Yeah, we'll see how it, I mean, I hadn't even pulled it yet because they delivered it. So I hadn't even pulled it yet. So we'll have to see how it pulls and how the old man Tundra does.
Oh, yeah, somebody asked what you were going to pull it with.
Yeah, well, I mean, don't really have a choice. I got a 2008 Toyota Tundra, bought brand new in 2008, and I mean, it's got over 200,000 miles on it, still going. I mean, it runs strong, but you know, it just depends on, you know, it's just getting on up there in age. But you can only do what you can do, you know what I mean? And right now, until our car gets paid off, then I'll venture into getting a new truck. But until then, that's the horse we got to ride. So I think it'll do fine. Yes, trailer brakes all the way around. It's got, you know, y'all have seen it, the dual axles. Those are 5,200 pound Dexter axles. So they're, I mean, great axles, and electric brakes on them. So, you know, as far as stuff like that goes, there's really not much that I would,
hey, Matt, thank you.
You know, want to add as far as that kind of stuff goes. You know, Matt, appreciate you, man.
Maybe in the next year and a half.
Yeah.
When getting a truck.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to, that might be the well, I don't know, in the front yard. We might have to pull it to the backyard for the New Year's bash. Just keep that back gate open.
We can party in front, party in the front, party in the back.
We can do But yeah, we'll keep you guys updated, and then once we get everything like we want it, we'll probably do a video and just kind of do a ribbon cut on it,
Oh Lord, we ain't gotta do all that.
or christen it with some Dom Perignon or something.
How about just a beer?
Maybe some Cooks.
You're not banging it up. You're not hitting nothing on it.
All right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. That's been about an hour, and that's about all we've got. He's doing good, Mike. Gets on a boat in about 5 weeks to head to Thailand. So, yeah, you're right, Joseph.
Yeah, old Nate dog, he's good.
I'm just worried about gas prices.
Well, worrying ain't gonna get you nowhere.
Well, no, ain't nothing we can do about it.
Nope. Put the gas in there.
If you need it, you need it.
I had to put gas in my car today.
No one does barbecue out front. That was the one thing that tripped me out about watching Russ Jones's videos. First, bunch of videos I watched, I didn't realize where he was, where he was at in relation to his house and everything. That joker's out there in the middle of his front yard just going to town filming. He's got 3 cameras going and somebody filming, microphones everywhere. And
I love watching him. He's
out in the front yard. It's a trip. I don't know if I could do that. I wish y'all could have seen me the first video that I made. I had to restart over and over and over because it felt so weird being out there in my backyard talking to nobody. I felt stupid doing that. But I was in my backyard, like nobody could even see me. I couldn't imagine out there in the middle of my driveway,
Well, I thought you were crazy for even saying you were going to.
And look at us now, babe.
You were going to start doing YouTube videos. I was like, you have lost your mind. Like, I don't even know. Exactly, Gary.
I love it. Let's go, Brandon.
All right. I hope y'all have a great rest of the week. I'm going to go make me another cup of coffee.
I'm going to go make me another glass of eggnog.
And then I'm going to go to bed.
Yep. And then time to get back at it tomorrow.
2 more days. You too, Frank.
TG McFly, appreciate you. Mayhem, thank you. Gary, Joseph, Mike, Mr. Mark, all of you. Stephen Manis, bless your heart. Love you, man. Frank.
Stephen, I'll get you that recipe, and I'll give me some pecans, Mike, and I'll make a pecan pie.
Perfect.
We're going to have to do it like during the week or on a Sunday because the next 3 Saturdays I got.
Yeah. And that's the other thing real quick about doing stuff, a video during the week. We get home about 4-ish, 5:30, it's dark here. Pitch dark. And then by 6, we're about to fall out because it feels like it's 10 o'clock. And we'll look up at, what time is it, 9:30, 10? Not 6. It's crazy. This time change, I hate it. But we'll get through it. We'll make do. Appreciate y'all. Thank you for keeping coming back. And
what did you say?
Well, you heard me. I didn't stutter.
Yeah, you did. Bless him.
We'll try to be back next week and keep it going. So thank you guys.
We love y'all.
Love you guys. See you next week. Hope y'all have a good weekend. Till next time.
We'll be piddling.
There you go.
Ain't drinking.